Hey guys, today I just thought I'd do something a little different from my regular programming and gaming content and discuss a book that I read relatively recently. So I read this over the summer of 2022. It's called The Devil's Doctors, Japanese Human Experiments on Allied Prisoners of War, and it's by Dr. Mark Felton. And if you don't know who Dr. Mark Felton is, he's a British historian of the Second World War. He has a YouTube channel, I'll leave a link in the description. He's a Fellow of the Royal Historical Society and a Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts. So what this book is essentially about is Unit 731, which was a Japanese biological weapons facility during World War II, and it was headed by a guy called Shiroishi, who was very interesting to learn about. He was never prosecuted after the war, which is a very disturbing fact, and I'll get onto that later. But the main crux of this book is Mark presenting a very convincing argument on experimentation by the Japanese on Allied soldiers. So he discusses how prisoners at Mukden were treated comparatively better than prisoners at other Japanese camps who were laboured to death or died of malnutrition. It was very, very awful to hear about the treatment of Allied soldiers at other camps and the treatment at Mukden also. And he makes a very convincing argument about experimentation being done on US soldiers and soldiers at the camp. There were a lot of coincidences that lined up where US soldiers would die, and this would align with Japanese doctors visiting Mukden camp. So that was very interesting to read about, and also the betrayal of Allied soldiers and those who died at the hands of experimenters. Of the scientists at Unit 731. So by betrayal, I mean a lot of these people were never prosecuted, and it was very disheartening to read about that, and also about the Allied governments covering up a lot of what happened at Unit 731. So after the war, there were a lot of scientists who essentially got away with it because the US wanted to get a head start on biological weapons research ahead of the Soviet Union. And they took a lot of these scientists in, much like Operation Paperclip, where the US took a lot of Nazi scientists. And it was just very interesting to read about this, because I think it's a very neglected part of history. Certainly I wasn't really familiar with biological weapons research by the Japanese Imperial Army, and Mark does a fantastic job. It's very detailed. It's very, very interesting to read about. He really does paint a picture of what it was like for the men at these camps and what the overall atmosphere was like. So if you're interested in World War II, I highly recommend this book. It goes over so much more. I'm probably not doing it justice. It is definitely worth a read, and I highly recommend his other books as well. I've read one recently. Sorry, the name is slipping my mind. Let me just have a quick look here just to make sure I'm getting it right. I don't want to be telling you a different book from what I read. Sorry about this. Yes, the one that I read was The Death of Hitler, 1945, The Last Days in the Berlin Bunker. That is also a book I recommend. As you can see here, I kind of went on a buying spree of Mark Felton's books because I thoroughly enjoyed this one and learning about World War II. Well, learning about an area of World War II that I hadn't particularly researched. So if you're interested in World War II history, I strongly advise you to pick up anything by Mark Felton. or just to check out his YouTube channel. So thank you for watching this video. Leave a like if you liked it. I plan on doing a lot more book reviews. Sorry about me kind of zoning out a bit. I'm not reading from a script. I have some notes, but that's about it. Another book that I hope to cover in the future is a book that I'm currently reading now called Deep Learning with Python. So hopefully I'll get around to doing that. At the moment I'm fairly bogged down with a master's course in artificial intelligence and with a job hunt. So thank you for watching. If you liked, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.